I am Tom Camien and was here at Opie for 28 years. Taught industrial arts, woodworking, metalworking, drafting, and a construction class, and also coached cross country and track and field.
So while you were coaching at Opie, can you name some of your major accomplishments like state championships, that kind of stuff?
Well, cross country and track's a little bit different from most sports because you really don't keep track of the amount of meets you've won. But I was lucky enough to be part of 5 girls state championships in cross country and 3 girls track championships in track and field and 1 boys championship in track and field.
So can you explain how you got to Opie? Maybe lead with, in case people don't know where you're from, and then how you ended up in the Opie community.
Yeah. So I'm originally from Long Island, New York, and my high school track coach used to send all his athletes out to Emporia State. Well, I wound up going to the University of Arkansas, and things really didn't work out that well for me there. So eventually I came to Emporia, but I did not compete anymore, just graduated from Emporia State. Then actually I got a offer to teach at Wichita East High School. And when I got home from that interview, my wife said, "Hey, there's a little school down south that just called and wanted to know if you'd come down and interview." And I said, "Well, I just told Wichita East that I'd be interested in the job, but I'll go down and talk to Opie." So came down to Opie, and the principal at the time, Mike Doherty, took me out to the shop and said, "Do you know how to run all that equipment?" I said, "Yes, I do, sir." He said, "Well, we think we'd like to have you on board." So went back home and told my wife, "Well, he's pretty much interested, so not sure what to do." And she told me, "Don't you think Opie would be a whole lot easier to start out than Wichita East?" And I had to agree. So that's how I wound up at Opie, and spent my first couple of years not coaching. And then the AD at the time, Jay Parsons, approached me about starting a cross-country program. So we decided to do that, and things just kind of took off from there.
Okay. Describe your experience at Opie High School: athlete, work ethic, relationships, etc.
My time at Opie was extremely pleasurable. Got to work with a great staff. Teachers were fantastic. Had some great assistant coaches in Eric True and Todd Robert, which were a blessing for me. The kids, his work ethic was just fantastic. I've coached in 2 places, and I won't name the other place, but between the 2, there is no comparison as to the work ethic of our kids and the determination that they put in towards each program.
So I'm going to hit on just a little bit of our facilities, because obviously you coached here with a dirt track. It took us a long time. Even I think it was when I was here, so it hasn't been that long ago that they put in the long jump pits, or at least put cement in there, have the pole vault pits, etc. So I even remember when I came here, coming from a decently sized school, and I couldn't believe that there wasn't a track and there wasn't the facilities, and the school had that type of success. So can you talk a little bit about like what, as far as having success with kids and not having the facilities available?
Yeah. Not having a track was definitely I don't want to say detriment to our program, but it didn't help anything. It's really needed in the technical events relay handoffs, hurdling, those type of things. So I think when you see the new facility put in, you'll see a greater enhancement of those type of events. We were lucky enough to be able to work around that because I pretty much focused on middle distance and distance running. So the technical part of that really didn't affect us a whole lot. But a track facility will help the overall program quite a bit.
In your opinion, what makes Olpe a special place to live, raise a family, go to school, represent in athletics?
I would have to say the families that send their kids here are extremely interested in how well they do in athletics. Again, I think this is only the second place I've coached at, and there's no comparison between the two. There is just a winning attitude here that the kids possess, and they certainly want to keep up with their older brothers and sisters and match the success they've had in the past.
Describe the community support at Olpe that you experienced through the years.
Oh, the support was fantastic. Cross country isn't exactly a spectator sport, but every time we were at the state championship, there were far more Olpe fans and parents there than any other school. So I couldn't be happier with the support they gave us.
Can you describe some special moments that stand out to you during your time coaching at Olpe?
I can. I don't know how much time we have to do this, but
whatever you want.
I could probably think of 3 separate occasions. One being my first year coaching, I had a young athlete by the name of Aaron Sheevy. Aaron was a hurdler and a state champion in hurdles. We get to the 4x4 relay. Aaron gets the stick in 3rd place, and he's chasing the kid that won the open 400 meters, and Aaron ran him down. So they wound up being state champions in the 4x4, which was absolutely incredible. Another one would be a young lady by the name of Michelle Stevie. Most people probably wouldn't believe this. Michelle Stevie was not a talented track athlete, but she had more determination than any other kid that came through this school. And here's an example. At the state track meet, her senior year, this is back when they used to run all distance races on the same day. She starts out with the 2 mile, and she's got the 2nd fastest time in there. And she wins it. And this happens to be a very hot Saturday. The next race is the 4x8 relay. She gets the baton with about a 50-meter lead, so she really doesn't have to run too terribly hard to win it. Well, she runs her fastest 800 time of the year, and they win it. Well, now it comes mid-afternoon, and we're kind of in the team point standings where we have a chance to win it. And we're sitting underneath the stadium, and I come up to Michelle, and she's just laying flat on her back, absolutely exhausted. And I said, Michelle, she now has to run the mile. I said, Michelle, we just need a good race out of you. Don't have to win it, just score high. She sits up with a beet red face, exhausted as could be, and she said, no, I'm winning it. I was like, wow, okay. And of course she does. Well, she's got one event left, and that's the 800 meters about 2 hours later. And she's got a teammate in there by the name of Mandy Cole. And Mandy was also an excellent 800-meter runner. Well, they wind up going 2-3, and we win the state title. And I have never seen more determination out of a single athlete than I did from Michelle that day. The third thing was a gentleman by the name of Kyler True. Kyler did possess a whole lot of physical talent. Well, it was amazing his senior year to watch him and set a state record in the 2-mile, come back and anchor our 4x8 relay to a first place, come back and set a state record in the mile, which was also the 5th fastest time in the United States that year, and then come back and win the 800 with another teammate getting 2nd and another teammate getting 7th. So those 3 things are probably what stand out the most in my mind.
Good. That's incredible. Do you know Michelle teaches here now?
I heard that.
Yeah, we'll have to bring her down. So the last question is, what do you believe it means to be an Opie Eagle, and does it stick with you regardless of where you are? But I'm going to do that as a panel. So I'm going to bring everybody in. We'll have the same question. Is there anything else that you want to add to the interview?
I'd just like to thank Opie and the community for having me for 28 years. Thank you.